So a couple of videos ago, I made a video about the light and the dark. This video right here that I'm going to be speaking this message today, fairly similar actually to that, but in a completely different direction. And today what I'm going to be speaking about is timing between the light and the dark in life. God's timing, something that we hear about fairly often, but today I really want to speak a bit just a bit deep about it. I really just believe is like in my mind and in my heart to speak about today. So this is what I want to put out here, all right? The light and the dark and the timing of it. First, let's look at nature, right? Something that I often do on this channel, right? Like I said, there is a scripture in Genesis where, you know, and we notice that in the day there is a daytime and there is a nighttime. A cycle that continues, a cycle that is inevitable from our hands. That is something that God has made the way that it is in this world, and that is something that is similar to our lives, right? Day and night, something that again happens in nature, and light and dark happens in our lives, right? And that is off of obviously what's going to be about our perspectives, right? God is going to put us in a situation at certain points in time where we're going to feel like a lot of dark is happening or a lot of not good things for us are happening. We may not be feeling the blessings, you know, of God. We may not be feeling it in that moment. And then there will be those light moments within our life where we'll feel like, dang, we're really being blessed. Things feel great. It feels like great things are happening, right? And there's going to be different purposes and reasonings and seasons, not seasonings, but seasons, reasons for these different seasons, these different times within our lives based off of our perspective, which God knows. God knows 100% about our perspective. So the thing that I want to say is He's going to put us in these situations. And sometimes we have to wait. We're going to have to wait for good reasons, good reasons as to waiting for the light situations to happen when we are in, you know, the dark, right? Say it like, put it like this. In this world, right, there is going to be times when there's going to be a reason for us to have the moon out, the stars out, it's going to be dark outside, and then there's going to be the reason, or there's going to be the nighttime, and then there's going to be the daytime. And if that wasn't true, there would be no nighttime. It would be nothing but daytime, right? You get what I'm saying? There is purposes for both, you know, for different animals. There's all kinds of reasons. There's all kinds of purposes for, of course, the nighttime, right? The human perspective, the changes that it can make for us during those times when it's more dark outside than when it is more light outside. Again, there is balances between these things, and there is different timings for each of them. Now, sometimes in different seasons, you notice as well that timings change when it becomes dark after it becomes light. The way God created nature, sometimes we can't even explain, but there is a purpose for the times when it is light, and there is a purpose for the times when it is dark, like I said. Now, here's something that I want to put out today right now. This is why I have the camera at this angle right here, right? And I want to say this. You see this blind, you see this window right here, you see these blinds right here. Do you see this window? And what I just want to say is, there's going to be moments in time, right, where we feel like there is a light situation in our lives, right? There is a time when it feels like everything good is happening for us. We feel like everything inside of our lives is going well. Everything inside of our lives is working the best way that we feel is possible, right? You know, it's light, right? We have this light. God has given us this light moment. He's given us this time when it feels great. And what are we going to do when He gives us that light, that moment? What are we going to do when He gives us these moments? Right? Look at this. Are we going to close the blinds when He gives us the light? When He gives us the ways that we can put out our blessings? When He gives us the ways that we can put out what we have, the abilities that we have as humans? When God gives us these things, when God gives us these chances, when He gives us these opportunities, when He gives us these brand new things that we have, like a camera or like a microphone here, that give us the chance to put out messages. When God gives us these chances, what are we going to do with them? Are we going to shut the blinds from other people? Are we going to hide the money that He may give us to help others by buying the right equipment for it? Are we going to hide that money and store it for ourselves? Or are we going to spread our light with what we can, with what we have, and helping others as well? And are we going to do that? Are we going to be selfless? Or are we going to be selfish about it? Because it makes us feel better past who we actually are, right? Are we going to do that? Are we going to help bless others, do great for others so that even more light can be brought out for even more people? You know why? Because you influenced the perspective of another person, and now they can shed the light that you paved the way for. Are you going to pave that way by speaking out the gospel, by doing great things, by helping others in that perspective, and not doing things in a selfish manner. Or when God gives you these things, that, to be honest, it may not even be from God, but when God gives you these things, are you going to make the decision in your head to say, hey, I want these for myself, and close the blind on others? Close the blinds. Not tell that person about that money that you got. Not tell nobody about that opportunity that popped up. Not tell nobody about it because you want it all to yourself. What are you going to do, and what decision are you going to make in that? And overall, sometimes that's going to influence, when you put yourself on the path of what God has for you, there's going to be patience. You know why? Because trust me, there's going to be all types of litter in our perspective where it's going to be a thing. God knows what we're going to do. We might not even know what we would do with some of the things that God wants to give us in the future. We might not even know what we're going to do with them yet. We don't even know that because we're not in the future. God knows the future, and He knows exactly what you're going to do when He gives you those things. When He gives you those blessings, when He gives you those things that you can use to change the world. How are you going to use them? Are you going to use them for your selfishness? Are you going to use them for yourself? And think about it like this: when you give it to God, listen, God is going to help you change your perspective first before He gives you these things, because it's going to encourage you even more in the perspective that you have now. Think about it that way. If God gives you $1 million. If He gives you $1 million and you're somebody that loves spending your money on the things that aren't good for you, what are you going to do with that million? You're going to be more encouraged to spend things like that. If God has you be patient in a season where it may feel dark, if He has you wait, if He has you take some time to wait in that dark situation where it may feel like you don't have that opportunity, you may feel like you don't have that money, that million, He is going to shape you to be able to own something like that in the future. And again, it's not saying that you have to be Mr. Give Out and never think about yourself. That's not to be said like that either. But what is going to be your intention? Are you going to do things for the destruction not only of potentially others but yourself, because you're letting that money give you self-worth? Are you letting that money give you self-worth? And if you are, God isn't going to just go and hand you $1 million. I mean, that's up to God, but I'm just saying, you get what I'm saying? There's not going to be there's a reason why I don't have $1 million. Think about it like this: transparency, money is something that does, when I have a lot of it, I do feel better about myself. Do I think that is a problem? That shouldn't be the way that it goes, but that's the way that it is for me in my perspective right now. You know what I'm saying? That money does, when I don't have any, I feel less great about myself. That is the way that a lot of us are in society. And it is that reason that God can't hand you $1 million right now. And there's other lessons probably to be learned that I don't even understand. And there is a point in time where God can give you these blessings that you hope for or ask for or you really, really want. He knows. He understands your wants and your needs. He understands them. And now what are you going to do when you have those wants? You know what I'm saying? What are you going to do? Is it going to be for the good, or is it going to be for the bad, and you don't even understand that? And God does. Everything is working for your good. So before He hands you anything, just try to understand that God has to work in you. And you have to trust in Him with that. That is having a relationship with the Most High. Giving it time and understanding that God has a purpose for why you are in this season. Understanding that and knowing that, because everything is working for your good. You know why? Because you have the Most High on your side. And He's the one working in your life right now. He's the one that's working, bringing these things, and they're what's working in your life right now. Am I rich? No. Do I think that I would do the 100% greatest with the money if I was? No. No. Most definitely not. I don't know why I was thinking about it for a second, but no. And it would make me feel better in myself to the point where if I didn't have that money, I would probably lose a lot of self-esteem. I would have a lot less self-esteem than I do now if I had that $1 million and lost it. Think about it like that. You get what I'm saying? So that's it. God bless you. I hope you all have an amazing evening, and just thank you so much for listening to this message today. I appreciate you and I thank you. And you have an amazing day. Peace.